Welcome to the BuzzBait podcast, your way of something new each week. I'm your host, Lara. With me today, and probably as always, are my co-hosts, Collin and Meghan. How are you guys?
Doing good. We are chilling. My work life was briefly on fire, but they fixed it, so we're fine.
Heck yeah.
Hey, listen. Cards are flammable.
Yeah.
That's true. What has been happening in the news world that's caught your attention recently? Anything?
So as we were just discussing beforehand, this only affects people who play or know about old school RuneScape, but they are cracking down on death matching in a planned update on August 15th. Death matching is where you would basically agree to fight somebody. You would pay them like in real world money. They would take valuable gear or things into the wilderness, and you would 1v1 them and then take all their stuff when you killed them because they would just let you. But while talking about that with everybody, I brought up that let me double check the actual dates now that we're deep diving this. Roughly between 2016 and 2018, there was a peak of a very specific event, which was Venezuela's currency was so low valued that it was more valuable for people to create old school RuneScape accounts, grind the characters up to high levels, which takes a while and it's very boring and frustrating at times. And then you would do high level content to farm valuable items and sell them for gold. And the official count, 1 million OSRS gold during 2016 to 2018 was roughly worth 66 cents in USD. And so a lot of people from Venezuela made old school RuneScape accounts, multiple in some cases, farmed a bunch of gold and would sell it in like real world markets, and they would get paid in US dollars, and that was the most profitable way for them to support their families versus getting a job.
Do you think the United States is headed there? I mean, like, the dollar now is worth fucking nothing. You can't even get a McChicken for $1 anymore.
Yeah, even like other countries are starting to move away from USD as the global currency.
Interesting.
I forget who has, like, I don't think anybody has it. I think they just, I forget which country, but there was a huge news thing, I think it was a year or two ago, where they started pushing like a new global currency support because the USD was becoming so unstable.
Mm-hmm. Meghan, did you bring anything?
I absolutely fucking did. So on the theme of embarrassing, like, the United States is obviously a huge embarrassment globally.
Yes.
The United States is
a
cringe.
stain.
But we hear about how embarrassing our country is every single day. Let's talk about other countries' embarrassment. Obviously, that's what I really want to talk about. I got someone at work, and he keeps me updated because he wants to move to the UK, and he keeps me updated on the election that they just had. They held their election, first of all, on the 4th of July. That's embarrassing. Like, you're that obsessed with America that you held your government election on the 4th of July? Ooh, wild. Now,
Jealous.
so here's the thing. Their political parties, their colors are swapped, right? So their conservative party is blue and their liberal party is red.
Okay.
Okay. So holy shit. These numbers are insane. So they were predominantly controlled by their conservative party. And unlike in the United States, what happens is whoever has the most people in parliament, like if they have the majority, kind of like Congress, whoever they basically elect a prime minister. So like the speaker of the house for Congress is their prime minister. I don't know if you knew that. I did not know that. Man's had to explain it to me because embarrassing. I'm dumb. But
How dare you not know how other countries' governments work, Meg?
I thought a prime minister is basically a president. I didn't know. Okay, he looked at me like that when I told him I didn't understand what that was. So he did look at me like I was a fucking troglodyte. But he's fucking brutal. But Yeah, so they were in control. They had the majority of seats in their government. Like I said, like it's like Congress, where you've got like a certain amount of seats based on like whatever the region is. So they were in control. Apparently, one of their prime ministers lasted 40 days before they kicked her out because she's the one that crashed their fucking economy because she
Oh my
literally was
God.
like, "Hey, guess what? I'm not going to tax any rich people." And their economy tanked so fast. And the reason why it was 40 days was because that was when the queen died apparently. So she had to wait to announce her political plans. And then so she waited a couple weeks to be like, "This is what I plan to do with the government." She said what she planned to do and everyone was like, "Get the fuck out of here." So embarrassing. But here's what's really embarrassing. They lost in this election so badly. They lost 244 seats.
The Conservative Party?
Yes. 244 positions. Here's what's really fucked up. They basically assign, right? It's like a weird, there's like a board that assigns people to a seat. The board members saw that their party was so in danger of losing that the board members elected them to seats that had never been lost in their party's history. They have always been conservative seats. They've always been conservative represented areas. And they lost some of those seats. The committee who decides who gets those seats said, "I'm getting those seats." And then they still lost some of them. They said, "These are the locked in, and we want to protect our own political power." And then they still lost some of them. Like seats that literally in the history of Parliament have never not been a conservative seat. And they lost them. Like that's how badly the Conservatives are viewed in the UK right now. And that's how like different it is. Like even if like the difference between the United States, this is embarrassing on the US that we like define ourselves so much by our political parties when it's like clearly this isn't actually what you believe in or stand for, but I'm a fucking Republican because I can't be a Democrat because they're just a bunch of fucking communist socialists. And it's like when you're like in that mindset.
You heard it here, folks. Meg's a Republican.
Yep. Take your quotes now.
I absolutely am. I'm an Abe Lincoln era Republican. Back before they were super shitty.
So still racist.
We're cutting that out.
Weird.
We're cutting that out. We're cutting that out. I can't have it. I can't have that story be the thing. That's not the narrative. That's not the narrative.
You're editing the podcast, Meg. Whatever you want goes in the episode.
I fucked myself.
Better keep it in there. You're fired.
No, I'm gonna cut it. It's gonna be silent, and then it's just gonna be you screaming, "Keep it in, or you're gonna be fired." And it's just gonna be like, "I did not keep it in. It's not."
One day, we're just gonna, like, Meg's gonna edit these podcasts, and eventually she's gonna be like, "Guys, I finished editing the episode," and it's just gonna be one of those, like, cut together clips of Lara and I just saying obscenely horrible things. And the time Meg's gonna post the video herself, and she'll be like, "Guys, listen to how they treat me."
She's gonna be like, "Why I'm leaving Katana Fish."
It's just gonna be poorly edited clips of Lara going, "Meg, you are bitch."
She'll be like, "I was harassed. I was abused."
Meg, keep that in now.
We're gonna fucking fire you. Just Lara screaming, "We're gonna fucking fire you." That's just that.
That's how it's gonna start, and then it's gonna fade into why I'm leaving Katana.
After Lara says we're gonna fire you, just cut to me going.
We're giving
Lara was the most abusive boss I ever had.
And Collin
She never
did
paid me
nothing to help
every
me.
time I volunteered for work.
Listen, none of us are getting paid yet. Anyways, that is literally
That's
accurate
true.
right now.
I can't wait for this episode to come out on the Patreon for everybody.
Oh gosh.
We're comedy geniuses, guys. I'm just gonna pat all of us on the back. Like, we're great. We're doing this.
At least we think we're funny.
But it's true. You were talking about the differences in like political
Yes.
parties of the U.S. and the U.K. I think something that has to. I think a big difference between the U.S. and U.K. and how our governments are very different is the United States is so massive in comparison that I mean, I hear it all the time of people complaining like, well, why can't we just, why can't we just have it like this? Why can't we just have it like this? And it's like, because there's like millions and millions of people.
I will say my favorite difference between America and like Europe and other countries is I have a couple friends in Europe and they're just like, oh, I can't see my friend for a while because they live 45 minutes away. And I was like, brother, I've gone on an hour and a half car ride to hang out with my friends for a few hours.
Yeah, a 2-hour car ride, unheard of over there.
Yeah. Why is there hexagons? What is that other chart?
These are the seats. These are the seats
Why
of
are they
Parliament.
oriented like this?
Oh,
What
I
is
wondered why you
happening?
shared a stream
This
on
is-
Discord.
This is the shape of Great Britain. It's showing you regionally.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, I'm so glad you explained it because I was like, what the fuck is this infographic?
Yeah, audio listeners, you're probably confused as fuck, but that's okay because we also are.
Meg, scroll down a little bit.
video
I'm going
watchers.
to post this on the Discord. Hang on. So
Fantastic.
this
Yeah, video watchers, you're also probably confused. Infographic, yeah.
just a second. There we go.
This is the old map. This is from 2019. This is how many seats. The blue is the conservatives, right? The blue is the conservatives. The red is like the liberal parties. And then, of course, they've got like a bunch of different breakdowns, like Liberal Democrats, Scottish National Party. So apparently there's an entire group of people who go and they get seats up here, these yellow seats. I believe they don't actually sit in Parliament. So like they never vote on anything. It's like a protest against like these guys' bullshit. Because they're like, we're Scotland and we still fucking hate you.
Yeah,
We
good for
don't
them.
want to be here.
Good for them.
So this is 2019's election, right? And I just want to show you like a visual difference in what happened, right? So this is all, again, conservatives versus Democrats, and then holy
Whoa.
right?
Go. It's all red.
It's
Now, if this was the United States, this would kind of scare me. I'm not even gonna lie.
this
But-
is so scary if this was the US.
That's something else I like about the U.S. It's more balanced, I think, in terms of like parties.
Well, my buddy who wants to go to the UK, he's gay, and he said something. He was like, I hope the Reds win. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, he was telling me about the election initially, like, before we started getting into all the details and I learned anything about their political system. He was like, oh, yep, they're holding, they're talking about holding an election and everything, and I really hope that, it's just going to be a sea of red. And I looked at him and I was like, who the fuck are you, dude? And he was like,
Where have you been?
the colors are switched. And I was like, thank God you said that. But
I do
it's
like
just-
red. I do like red for liberals. I'm not gonna lie. Feels powerful.
It does.
The U.S. needs to adopt this immediately. People would riot if we changed the colors. If we said conservatives, you are now green. Liberals, you are red. The people would lose their fucking mind.
I can't even imagine. But I don't know what liberal Democrats are. Don't know what that is. But they got 72 of the votes now. But they weren't super popular. And the other one, it didn't seem like. But yeah, no. This is
Wow.
just. Isn't this just absolutely just like truly like the craziest thing? Like, look at, they had like 5 seats before. 3, 4, 5, 6 orange seats, 7, 8 orange seats.
So in those like 5 years, the Conservative Party must have just really fucked them over.
Yeah, their whole government, like prime minister after prime minister was just fucking things up. The last dude, when he was talking about the fact that like he wasn't gonna be, he was like talking about like stepping down and like stepping away. Apparently he did it, like literally it was like raining on him, and it was apparently the most like pathetic, sad thing that's ever been seen. I didn't watch it, but my friend was telling me about it, and I was like, this is, I mean, but look at what they did though. Like, this is not embarrassing. Like, they fucking took their country back. They decided what was actually good for the people and not what, oh, I'm going to identify as this specific political party. This is not embarrassing.
Right.
It is, in fact, embarrassing for the conservatives who lost that badly.
That's so crazy.
But they just went, like, full, whole hog, like, severe right wing. They, like, looked at America and said, that's for us.
What I love though is that on this infographic, the little island to the right there remained roughly the same.
This one here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did, but that's, you know what that is though. That's Ireland,
Yeah.
and they're like, fuck you guys. Again, just
And
like
they're like, we're not
Scotland.
voting anything you guys want. There's a
They-
little less dark red, whatever that is, the Democratic Unionist Party. There's a little
Yes.
less, but it's roughly the same.
I think the Unionist Party. Those are the people that wanted uh Ireland, because North and Southern Ireland is not, or they're like two separate entities. I think
Yeah.
the Unionist Party wanted them to come together, and the big change is Brexit fucked their economy up, right? So Brexit weakened the pound, and so apparently the other part of Ireland that's not part of the UK is part of the United your nation, like it's part of whatchamacallit. So they're on the euro still, and then so they were like, well, we want unification, and then they were like, our economy's doing better than yours, and they were like, maybe we don't have to unify under Great Britain rule. That was the difference, to my understanding, is that their one part is on the euro, the other part is on the pound, and now less people agree because of Brexit. And that was the conservative decision. Brexit was a conservative decision, and they were talking about how like it was supposed to like lower immigration, but like immigration's up like 12% or some shit. Like it's like up from at the time of like deciding Brexit and everything, by saying we're not part of, the European nations. That's what it is. By saying we're not part of the European nation, like, or we're gonna have less obligation to allow immigrants into the country, because they were just taking that like super racist standpoint of like immigration bad, we're good, they're bad. But they also they do have more like government strain. But again, they tried to go like full conservative and be like, we're gonna cut taxes for the rich. And it's like, wait a minute, taxes pay for everything over there. Your healthcare, all of like the, a lot of like the education, stuff like that. I mean, they have a lot more to do. Like they have like a little bit of a different system when it comes to their housing for people and stuff like that. They've got like what they call it, council housing and stuff like that. So they need taxes to sit there and say, well, we're going to cut the taxes for the rich. People really fucking lose their mind. But apparently there's like insane rioting, but their conservative party has been infiltrated because people were like attacking buildings and destroying things, but their conservative party was infiltrated online, and then they started like leaking where the people were going to attack and riot next, all over like the fact that someone lied in a news article. Like the conservative party lied about an immigrant being the person that like attacked and killed some people with like a knife.
Oh my god.
And now they're literally like rioting and destroying things, because they're like, fuck immigrants. And it wasn't even an immigrant. He was like born and raised in the UK, like not an immigrant. But they're still rioting about it. But again, fucking good guy fucking people over there infiltrated their conservative party and are leaking. And people are literally like going out in droves and just like standing around these buildings that they had planned to attack. Also, here's what's embarrassing for the United States. People are already convicted of these crimes. They were picked up, arrested, they are being publicly shamed, they are being sentenced to jail time already, that quickly. They're already...
Didn't we just forgive a bunch of people that went into, like, the coup?
Yeah, literally, we have.
Like,
and these people, jail time.
The United States is really embarrassing sometimes.
Influencer on X, of course, and apparently Elon Musk is getting involved, and he's talking shit about immigrants, because of course he fucking is, and it's not even an immigrant. Yeah, it's basically they're all. So here's the thing too: you can get charged for a hate crime just for writing stuff. They're talking about like Elon Musk being on the border of getting charged in the UK, but because of some of the stuff that he's saying. I'm like, fucking please, arrest the billionaire, please.
I would love to see Elon Musk arrested, but I fear it would have the same impact as like the Trump mugshot, where people were like, "Oh, this is badass. This is hard as fuck,"
Ugh.
because these people, they claim they hate felons, they hate criminals, whatever, but then somebody they like gets arrested, and suddenly it's cool, it's badass, it's whatever.
Yeah.
It
Seriously
makes
though.
no sense.
Well, and that's exactly it. That's one of the things that I commented on because they like mobilized, I want to say like 6,000 police officers across the country in order to 600 arrests have already been made as of Friday 9th. They were keeping courts open yeah, with more than 150 people already charged
Well,
since
hold
the
on.
9th.
The sentence right after that, they include children as young as 11.
Well, here's the thing.
What?
If that child is lighting buildings on fire, screaming fuck immigrants, I don't know. They need help. They need to be taken away from their parents at the very least.
I do agree, but I don't know, something about that.
Yeah, no, that's fucked up. Children as young as
Yeah.
11. That is fucked up. I will agree. Their parents should be arrested for child endangerment and bringing their
Yes.
kids to a fucking
Fucking
riot.
neglect or something.
But they're like keeping the things open. But yeah, literally since yesterday, 600, like this is again up to date as of yesterday, and 600 arrests, more than 150 people are charged. People are getting up to 5 years in prison for hate crimes. But that's the thing is like Elon Musk to like mobilize the police that way. And I'm like, it's not wrong to wrongly accuse immigrants and riot and destroy public property, but you're saying that it's wrong to like en masse use police to protect it. You fucking idiot. I don't know. It's fucking ridiculous. It's weird. It's such a weird situation.
Mm-hmm.
But
Speaking of weird situation, my news article was, I linked it in our group chat, what, a day or two ago, because when I read the headline alone, it was crazy. But actually reading the article, I'm looking at the article from the New York Times right now, insane. Taylor Swift's Vienna concerts are canceled after terror plot arrests. And in the article, it is written here. Officials in Austria said at a news conference on Wednesday that 2 men had been arrested and accused of plotting a terrorist attack. One of them, a 19-year-old, recently pledged allegiance to the Islamic State online and had focused on the Eras Tour as a potential target. The law enforcement carried out a raid at the man's home and found chemical substances, noting that it was like a bomb. He planned to make a chemical bomb,
that's insane.
bring it to the tour, and kill all these people. I'm assuming primarily women, but yeah, just wow. Especially, I remember sending the one article, and then following it up with another one a couple days later that said that, one or two of the suspects were like allegedly like connected to ISIS, which, wow. I understand. Okay, so from like terrorist point of view, I understand why they would want to get the Taylor Swift tour, as like, they know a lot of people go there,
Right.
powerful, financially influential, strong woman.
Right.
Like, let's take her down.
Oh my god.
It's gonna cause. Oh, what?
I just remember, didn't Ariana Grande have like an attack at one of her concerts?
I think it was the her Las Vegas one. Like, this was years ago.
Yeah, years ago.
Yeah, it was like a shooting
Mm.
or something. Yeah, I don't know if that one was connected to.
Terrorism or anything, but I just
Yeah.
remembered. I was like, yeah, like those kinds of places can be like really huge targets for just because there are so many people.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because it was like, I think it was like, what, 200,000 people got like refunded on tickets. Which, let me tell you, I'm sure Taylor Swift's fucking mad about that one. That's money out of her pocket, gone.
For real.
That was another plane ride. That was another 2 plane rides for her. Gone. Paid for by the public, gone. Tragic. It was 2 teenagers. We only know the one, at least I only know. The one was 19. There was a second teenager involved in this. Again, allegedly connected to ISIS as well. And the New York Times article says that a third teenager connected to the main suspect was also arrested. Although authorities believe that he was not a part of the plan. So maybe, you know, he was like, sure, I'll put an attack on somebody. And they just fucking arrested him or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It
Or,
just
like,
blew my
maybe-
mind.
Well, when you're talking about teenagers, sometimes they are weirdly easily influenced by the craziest shit. Like, you know, I mean, I'm just thinking about, like, those fucking, you know, weird kids
Like the
back in the
year
day.
olds at the UK riots. It's all
Right.
connected.
No, I was thinking more like you're like 17 and you talk to one of your friends and you're like, yo, you want to try building a fucking bomb? And a
Yeah.
teenage boy's like, actually, that sounds kind of fucking lit.
Yeah, and then like set it off at like the park, or like in the woods where it would like bother nobody. Yeah.
Yeah, where you think that you guys are just fucking around, it turns out your friend's actually a terrorist. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
you know what? That's
you
that's
imagine?
probably exactly what the third teenager was doing. The other 2 were like, "Let's build a bomb," and he's like, "Oh, this sounds kind of fun. Like, what are we just gonna like blow a tree down or something?" And they're like, "We're gonna get Taylor Swift," and he's like, "All right, wait a minute."
He's actually the one that turned him in. He's like, holy shit, I found out what these guys were doing. And
Yeah,
they're
he's like,
actually
"You're gonna
fucking
kill
nuts.
people."
They're actually fucking insane. You know how bad
did you
that
guys
kid
ever-
would have felt if he helped them build a bomb that actually fucking killed people and all he thought they
Oh,
were
I turned
doing
myself
was,
in.
like,
I turned myself in.
so fast.
But did you guys ever, I remember when I was younger, watching, like, it was like CNN, Today Show, something like that, you know, people were throwing these bottles that contained some sort of substance or chemical, whatever. They were throwing it out, like, their car windows. If you find any soda bottle on your lawn, to not touch it, to just leave it there, or, like, call authorities to come grab it. And I was like, imagine you call the authorities, be like, there's a Diet Mountain Dew can on my lawn, and they just come pick it up, and it's like,
It's
nothing.
empty.
Oh no, you're fucking right.
Yeah.
People are throwing little bombs in people's yards. That's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I was just about to list off the ingredients, and then I was like, better not.
Nah, I wouldn't.
Better not.
But send it here. No, I just but yeah, I just remember that on the news for some reason. It just stuck with me because I was always just like, huh, that's weird. I do remember a couple days after that there was a soda bottle on my lawn and being like eyeing it because I was like, what the fuck is that? Is it just a soda bottle or is it a bomb?
Yeah, you won't know unless you fucking touch it, and you don't want.
I won't know unless I touch it. I didn't touch it, but I wanted to.
10-year-old me would not have survived this event because anytime I was walking with my parents, I would pick up every piece of garbage I would see on the side of the road and shake it.
Oh,
so,
you'd be dead.
like, 10-year-old
dead in a
me,
heartbeat.
10-year-old me would have been self-annihilated.
Of course, absolutely. I would have been fucking no fingers. Fucked
I
up.
would just been like, wow, soda bottle, shake it, and then my older brother, whoever I was walking with, would have been like, what's that noise? And then just gone.
Just
Going back to the Taylor Swift thing really quick. The New York Times, the same article, they said the singer's fandom became a target of a violent attack in England last week when 3 children died in a knife attack
My
in
buddy
Southport
lives-
during the Swift-themed dance class. And a
Yeah, my
17-year-old
buddy
boy was
lives
arrested.
in
That's
the
what
UK,
caused the
and he was
immigration
telling me
riots,
about
isn't
this.
Is that the UK? Yeah, that's what caused the immigration riots.
Yeah.
They said that it was an immigrant who did it, and it wasn't.
That's so crazy.
Isn't that fucking crazy? That's literally.
I
what-
mean,
Wow.
we've had that issue happen like 100 times throughout history.
Yeah.
But it's still crazy every time it
Yeah.
happens.
Like, it keeps happening, and you'd think eventually, common sense would be like, okay, maybe we should stop just lashing out like this every time. And nope, Nope. Everybody
No,
still does it
no.
everywhere.
Which,
Something bad
like,
happened by somebody who looks different than us? Must be everybody's bad.
it must be the devil! No, it's like, especially, I think, in America is where it's, like, specifically, not only drives me nuts, but just confuses the hell out of me. Like, us white people here, we wouldn't be here without immigration. This fucking country was built on the backs of two things: immigration and racism.
Slavery.
Yes, three things.
Three things: slavery, immigration, racism. Yeah, staunch nationalism to the point of fucking being dangerous to our own people and prosperity. Fucking
Like, we
A.
literally,
Nobody hates American happiness more than other more well-off Americans.
we came to this land when other people were living here and said, actually, we're native from here. Which is insane, and it just confuses me, because it's like, you hate immigrants, but you would not be here without some kind of immigration.
Right. And that's like what really fucks me up is I'm like, what do you mean? Like, and they're like, well, they're doing it illegally. And it's like, how many of your relatives do you think actually fucking came through U.S. immigration?
In here legally. Yeah. Especially, it's like, in terms of history, having to take a test for your like citizenship and stuff like that, it's relatively new.
Right. It's not, you know what I mean? Before it was like you just came here and were like,
You just
hello,
came here.
I'm
You just came here,
immigrating.
bought a house, got a job, and ta-da.
Right, you just like, hello, I'm immigrating. And they were like, cool, you're part of the United States now. Well, and then for a while, like, there was that thing where they, oh my god, that's so, listen to this. So, people from Ireland came over, to my understanding, and then the government was like, cool, we'll give you citizenship and stuff if you go fight these Mexicans. And then the Irish people went down there, and the Mexicans were like, hey, what's up? And the Irish people were like, actually, kind of fuck America. And then they joined the Mexican side.
That's awesome.
A bunch of Irish people.
And you know what? I understand them. I feel it. I really do.
I relate spiritually.
Yeah.
I saw an Irish comedian do a bit on it because he was like, I don't know, they must have just seen Latinas, and I was like,
A big booty Latina can really change a man's life. Truly.
a bunch of dudes, they're like, well, we could fight a war, or that chick's got a real fat ass.
On God. And they're just like,
hey, papi.
Think they made the right decision.
On
I
God,
think they
dude.
did.
Fight
As an
war or
American.
get yourself a Latina baddie. I am not fighting any war, bro. Uncle Sam could never pull me out.
Until that Latina baddie says, actually, not, like, to get this, you have to fight for me. And then it's like, haha, what's Uncle Sam giving me? Citizenship?
yeah, that's true. Citizenship ain't thicker than that ass.
That's true. It's like the conversation I had when we were talking about Ruby. I was like, listen, it depends on which hottie gets to me first. If Salem says, hey, I need your help, I'm team bad guy, sorry. If Winter goes, hey, you're on our team, I'm like, yes, mom, whatever you say.
Yeah. You know what? And that's so valid. That is a very valid, like, it depends on what lady gets to me
Yeah.
first.
It's all about the baddie race. Who contacts me first for my
And-
expertise in the field?
With the U.S. military rates, like, what is it, like, recruitment rates dropping?
The U.S. military has started recruiting
Take
anime cosplayers to go to their recruitment events to try and get people to sign up.
Those fucking psyops military
Yeah.
chicks?
Like, there's literally a girl that I follow on Instagram, and she regularly gets invited to, like, military recruiting tables in her cosplay to try and increase recruitment numbers.
Wasn't there, like, a Twitch streamer or something that was, like, she was just actively recruiting people in her Twitch chat?
I
Like,
did
to the
not
US
hear
Army
about
or
that.
something?
That sounds crazy.
Yeah, they just hired some bitch with fat tits. and they were like, "All right,
Sometimes that's all you need.
hop on stream," and she was like recruiting people in the Twitch chat.
All you need is for those kids at home to have that little monkey neuron activated meme, and then you're golden. You got the team. But then like now there's memes coming out where it's like, I don't want to fight in no war, and it's like, did we tell you about the Evangelion initiative? And he turns around. There's one for Evangelion. There's one for Full Metal Alchemist, where it's like, did we tell you about the State Alchemist Initiative?
And I'm sure there's one for fucking like Attack on Titan, whatever the fucking
the Scout Corps,
the Corps, or whatever. Yeah.
No.
I've just been seeing them all pop up because it was just like recruitment's getting low, and it's like, but we need to recruit more people. Son, would you like to fight in the war? No, I'm not fighting in your war. And it's like, did I tell you about the State Alchemist Initiative? And he turned around, he's wearing like a full State Alchemist cosplay.
I fucking believe that shit though, that they would use that shit because like,
I believe it.
Because when you said cosplayers, I immediately was like, they're like getting like those people who like those like mech animes.
Yep, Evangelion,
Gundam. Yep.
I can fucking believe it.
I can 100% believe it.
I'm gonna be honest with you. If they announce that if they announce that if I join the military, they'll give me a devil fruit. I'm sorry, guys. I'm shipping out. I gotta go see what it's like.
I gotta go see what it's like. No.
I gotta see which fruit they give me, bro. Like I gotta go. It's my calling. It's time. That's how they get me. It's just everything goes back. If you can use One Piece, you can convince me of almost anything.
We'll have to cut this because we don't want them to know your weakness, you know?
Nah, keep it in. I want to see what happens.
Funny. Yeah, I want to see if I start getting targeted ads.
I want to see what happens.
I want to see if I get an email from an unlisted address that says, "So I hear you're interested in the devil fruit in the devil fruit initiative."
Hey, we're looking for someone to be the world's greatest pirate. Rumor has it could be you.
Bro, I would.
It's like the U.S. Navy.
They would be able to trick me into doing so many unspeakable things to the world if they promise that my official military title is world's greatest pirate. I would become the next like Canada in World War II. I would define what war crimes are.
All right,
tell me that my official title.
Fucking military. I'm taking notes, being like, so here's how to get Collin to do.
Lara's just like, great. Now when the podcast gets big, I know exactly what I need to do to convince Collin to get us a territory. And I will. I'll go out there.
Hey, we need an island to record on. Can you be the world's greatest pirate? And then you're like, I'm there.
10 out of 10. Like, genuinely, if I start getting emails about, like, recruiting to the army, I'm going to tell you guys in the next episode. Every device is currently listening, so, like, if I start getting these targeted ads, I'm immediately bringing it up next week.
There was for a while on, like, Twitter and Instagram, there was it was, like, one of those, what's it called? Little cards that they give out, or whatever.
Business card?
Business card, yes. It was a little like army business card, and it had like a bunch of faces on it, and one of the faces was the rapper Lil Tecca, and he's never served in the military, he's never served in the army or anything, and they just threw his picture on there without telling him. So obviously when the picture went viral and he was like, hey, United States military, where's my fucking cut of the money?
Right.
That's fucking nuts.
Yeah, there was something that I saw. The U.S. military tried to do like some big push to recruit new people, and it didn't work out. So they were trying to like recuperate their costs, and a bunch of people shared the meme, and it was like, "Oh, can I do this when my taxes are taken from me?"
Was it the one? It's like they used The Rock for something.
I think it was. And because like, it's The Rock, they paid like an asinine amount of money for it, and then it didn't work because nobody really cares. And then they were like, we need to recoup our money, and a bunch of people sharing it. I was like, can I do that when my taxes get wasted and nothing happens,
I'm gonna do
please?
That.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go buy like a $2 million house right now. And then be like, well, it didn't quite cut it. Time to recoup my losses.
Insane. Just a heads up, time check, 45 minutes. I know that some of this is getting cut for,
No, it's all going in.
Fantastic.
This is top quality content.
All right. And this is also going in, so
Yeah.
Meg,
Get
you
a
actually
little
don't have to
behind
edit this one at all. Just send Lara the file and say it's
Just-
done.
Yeah, that's easy for me. Do we want to like transition towards like the question part and
Oh, is it my
Yeah,
question
let's-
this time?
Let's transition to the question.
yeah, you said before
for the-
that you had an insane
For the last
one.
like 15 minutes here. I asked the last question, so I do believe it is Collin's turn for the question this
All right.
week.
I have now asked this question at work to 3 different groups. And I'm going to ask you guys now because it's very funny listening to people's answers. Would you prefer to have gay son or thought daughter?
Thought daughter.
Interesting. Not many people go for the thought daughter. I'm going to wait for Meg to answer and then I want to hear your reason.
I can't relate at all to my. I guess it depends on how like what kind of gay my son
Just
is.
gay. Your son's just gay. He's just
I
gay.
can't talk to him
There's
about
no further
boys.
detail. He's just gay.
I can't talk to him about boys, but like, do we still have things in common? Do we have shared interests, or is he like very effeminate? Where
You
I'm
don't
not
know.
gonna be
You have
able
to. You have to
relate?
pick. It's China. You have to pick at birth.
Oh,
China?
Are you
shit.
keeping the boy or the girl?
I'm gonna go with the boy, I guess, because I want a son. It's gonna be. I'm gonna be disappointed, not because he's gay, but like if he has feminine interests. Like if he's got girly interests, like I'm not gonna be able to relate. Like I just want to play dinosaurs and Matchbox cars, kid. God.
Well, you can when he's like fucking 6 years old.
Yeah.
Damn.
Fun fact:
Maybe not.
regardless
Maybe
if
he
your
wants
kid
to
is
sing
going to be
Frozen.
coming out as gay as an adult or a teenager, all kids are the same. You just put stuffed animals and cars in front of them, and they have the time of their lives.
See, but that's
Yeah.
not when they're fun. I'm talking about like
Oh my fucking
when
god.
you're
So here's
developing a
why I'm
personality.
choosing the thought daughter. One, I'm a thought daughter, so we have something to relate over. Two, I have a way, at least how I done it, whatever, to make sure that she is safe.
Interesting.
3, my brother has a daughter. My sister's about to have a daughter. If I have a daughter, do you know how many hand-me-downs I can get? I don't gotta spend a fucking cent. I just gotta buy diapers.
Honestly, that's so valid. I didn't even think about that.
Me personally, I would go for gay son because I was also I was a closeted gay son, but I was the gay son.
There's also
And-
like gay sons. Every gay son I've met has been so chaotic. I'm like, I would hate to be your mother. But thought daughters, they don't bring that shit home. They don't bring that shit home.
Well,
I'd be chilling.
my sister was kind of out there in that department, and she was very bitchy and rude to everybody in our house.
Yeah, girls who think that they're hot shit, assholes. Huge assholes.
Now if you get a thought daughter and she's just like she's chill about it, you're golden, 10 out of 10.
Exactly.
But yeah, my gay son is definitely going to be like a feral goblin when he gets older.
I'm taking the thought daughter, 100%.
Your thought daughter can be best friends with my feral goblin gay son.
Exactly. They'll all start a podcast just like we did. We'll pass the torch on to them.
They'll just be like,
Yeah.
all right. They'll be like, all right, we're starting our own podcast. And we're like, no, you're not starting your own. You're taking this one.
And then we announce our retirement, and then the podcast popularity immediately sinks, tanks, the company shuts down. Rooster Teeth Part 2.
My poor child with your goblin gay son and bitchy thought daughter is just gonna be like, what about dinosaurs, guys? What if we just talked about dinosaurs?
It'd be funny though if you Megan get the goblin kid, and and Colin gets the
Thought
dinosaur kid.
Yeah, I guess some.
Colin gets a thought daughter.
and
Oh
you
my
get
God,
the
dude.
dinosaur kid. You just get the fucking weirdest, like nerdiest.
So yeah,
motherfucker.
if we shift this all to like the Nightmare Blunt rotation, Lara gets the dinosaur kid, Meg gets the chaotic gay goblin, I get the thought daughter, and all of us are just like, and all of us are just like, this was not the dream.
Yeah, we're all like, well, this didn't go as planned.
If
And we
listen,
just, like-
if it turns out like that, we could always do like what was
could you
it,
do,
the
like,
Parent
Parent
Trap?
Trap?
Yeah, we could
Yeah,
do the Parent
like-
Trap where you just swap the kids while they're babies,
Yeah.
and then everything's fine. You raise the kid.
But
that
then
you
they all-
prefer.
Then they all look at each other and they're like,
Yeah,
Why do I look like my Uncle Collin?
the secret is these kids cannot go to summer camp ever.
The real issue with that, though, is by the time we realize their personalities, they're gonna be old enough to fucking remember. And that's the thing, is they're gonna remember that we just
Not if you give them
gave
CTE. Concuss those
Poor
kids before you trade
child.
them.
Concuss the children so that they can't remember that you traded them to your friends because you didn't like their personalities.
All right, thank you for tuning in to this week's episode. I don't really know what you should keep it, but definitely, I don't know.
We haven't even hit 50 minutes.
We're done.
Keep
it.
We're finished.
We're done. This conversation is getting a little...
Do you know how much of our chaos I'm gonna have to keep in for time?
Listen, you can just have a short episode once in a while.
You know what? No, that's... Keep it chaotic.
Yeah.
Keep it chaotic.
Keep it chaotic, yes. Keep it chaotic.
Comment below if you would prefer to have a gay son or a thought daughter.
Thought daughters unite.
Gay sons unite.
Keep
Fuck you, Lara.
you and your thought daughter away from me and my gay son.
No, I need Lara's thought daughter to be my gay son's best friend.
Just bully my dinosaur kid.
They won't
All right,
bully
end
you,
it,
they'll be
end it.
nice to you.